What's going on? You're tuned into another Six Visions exclusive interview. My name is Sik Saleem. And before I introduce my guest, man, we are back from this lockdown. This quarantine has been a pain in the ass, man. We're finally back doing this. But without further ado, let me introduce my guest, man. Steezewav, what's going on, brother?
I'm doing good, bro.
Finally.
Hey, it's been a long time coming. I've known you for a couple of years. I've been loving what you're doing, and
thank you.
We're here, so let's get it.
I remember you hitting me up. You're like, yo, man. Like, it's finally time to do it because now you have a lot of shit popping, bro. And I want to get into it right away because, like, you are a producer and you're also an engineer.
Yes, sir.
Right? So both of those things, like, real quick right off the bat, do you think being a producer and engineer, they go hand in hand, or is it you just kind of enjoy doing both things?
So I definitely agree they do go hand in hand because one thing I've learned is, like, being in session, I get to see, like, all the beats they're choosing to rap on, and, like, I see certain parts they want me to change. So, like, as I do sessions with people, I'll just, like, pick that up, and when I make beats after, like, I add what I learned from that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but are you just like an engineer in terms of, like, producing? You just engineer the beats, or do you actually sit there for recording sessions as well and engineer vocals?
So I just started now to actually sit in and, like, engineer sessions and record the vocals.
Okay.
Because like, obviously when the lockdown was going on, like, I was just doing mostly beat making and trying to, like, do social media networking. But, like, now that I've actually learned, like, I went to Florida last year and I did an internship for engineering for a few months, and I came home and now I'm using all that stuff I learned. So yeah, I'd say I'm definitely in session, like, recording guys, like, mixing their vocals and also, like, producing and doing all that for them.
Oh, did you intern at a studio, or was it was it like, private?
It was it's actually, like, a pretty bigger studio. It's called Imagination House. Okay. It's in Orlando, like, right near Disney and stuff, and they do all the audio engineering for the cruise ships, like the shows they have. So, like, they have, like, a Disney cruise, and they'll have, like, a whole camp where, like, all these people would come into the studio and record, like, songs for, like, the shows they do.
How'd you land that?
I mean, you're supposed to technically, like, be at Full Sail, but my uncle's a musician, and he was very close with one of their engineers, and he told him I was making moves in music production, so they gave me a shot.
Hey, man, that's dope.
Yeah.
Good. It helps to have connections, I guess.
Yeah.
We were actually just talking about this earlier. The benefit of school, right? Do you feel like it is a plus or a bonus, or do you think it's essential? How do you feel about that?
I mean, see, like, there's always different music producers. Some people, like, it takes them a couple years to grind and find their own sound and learn how to, like, get it. And some people, you can tell they're just, like, born with a gift to, like, either they can, like, hear keys or, like, certain notes, or they can, you know. But I do think at the end of the day, going to school, like, there's nothing negative that's going to come from that because, like, you'll be learning from people that are doing it professionally. Okay. But I do think it's not needed as much as, like, other programs would be. But there's nothing bad that could come from it.
Yeah. My take on school is it helps with the networking. I think it feels like it helps you open up to the world. Like, for me personally, like, when I went to film school, it wasn't necessary. Yeah. Right? But I know for myself, it helped me come out of my shell. So now I'm able to network outside of school as well.
100%.
So I think you learn more. Like, for example, Full Sail is like an audio school, right? It's for like audio engineering and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I think there's so many other benefits that come from it. Oh, absolutely. Besides just learning how to engineer. Oh,
absolutely. Like, I met a couple people that went there, and, like, when you graduate, like, if you're doing good and you're taking it seriously, like, they set you up, like, they help you find internships in, like, Atlanta, Florida, et cetera. Like, there's more than just learning, like what you said, like, there's more than just learning about how to make music going there. I think they definitely, like, help you at the end of it to get your foot in the door. Right. But if you're not in school, you kind of got to dig that up from the ground yourself. Right. So, and, like, obviously it's expensive to go to school for, like, audio 100%. Stuff, but like you said, like,
but have you considered it though?
Oh yeah. Okay. I've considered it for sure. So, like, I've recently, like, I opened a studio with my buddy Kellen, and, like, I'm just recording and helping the mixes, and I'm going to see how it goes for the next, like, 6 months to a year. Right. And if I feel like I can go to school and benefit a lot from that, I definitely will. It's just with the world, like, everything that's been going on lately, like, like, it's all online, you know? So, like, I'd probably want to wait till I could go in there and, like, experience it, like, fully.
For sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense, bro. So now, when you were in Florida, how long was the internship?
It was 240 hours, so I was there for, like, 3 months, 3 or 4 months.
So in those 3 months span, did you notice a difference in the entire music scene overall, like, and it affecting your sound from the Florida scene to, like, compared to here?
I mean, I definitely think being in the studio, like, just being in sessions with people that were coming in, because it wasn't like a hip hop type of studio. It was like very professional, like arts, and like they would have like people with instruments coming in. So like I was learning like studio etiquette, just like, and it was dictating my sound a little bit, because like I wasn't at home like surrounded by the stuff I've been around since I first started making music. So yeah, I think like, I don't know if I answered your question properly, but
no, it makes sense. It makes sense. Now, when you're recording an artist who's just rapping or singing or whatever versus recording a live instrument, what's your approach to taking that? Because I know there's a few different ways you can kind of do it.
So like recording a person, obviously you just need a mic, you put them in a booth, but when it comes to like a live instrument, they have to be in a completely isolated room, because if it echoes at all, then it'll bounce back in the recording, and then it'll just make a huge mess. But they have like certain mics and stuff too. So
there's no like, with like, if you're doing vocals or whatever, you put them in a room, there's like a natural reverb on their vocals, right? Does that apply to instruments as well? Or you don't want that at all?
No, definitely not. Especially like if you're going to be like sending the tracks to like someone else, another engineer, to like mix and master it, you don't want any interference with the sounds.
Okay.
That's what I find.
It's pure dry sound. Gotcha. Okay, cool. You've been producing a lot of type beats, right? Can you explain what a type beat is?
So a type beat, basically like I'll make a beat. I'll be chilling at home. I'll cook something up, and then I'll let it play for like a few minutes after I finish it, and I'll be like, okay, like what kind of type beat is this? What kind of type of artist could I hear on this beat? Right? It might be like Lil Skies, it might be Drake, Travis Scott. So I'll make a beat, and then I'll sort it out by like the type of artist I can hear on it.
Right.
That way, like when I put them onto my YouTube or my website or my Instagram or social media, like if somebody hits me up, oh, like do you make Drake type beats? Like I need that. So then, like I have it already. Or like you make Ariana Grande type beats, like.
There's a stigma about type beat producers.
Yeah.
That they're not serious, or they're lazy or whatever. How do you feel about that?
I've seen this like so many times, like internet producers, like type beat producers. Before I go into this, I don't consider myself a type beat producer.
Right.
I just do it because if you want to make a living and like sell beats, I think being a type beat producer at some point is essential, because people look it up every day.
Right.
And like if you're not doing that, I don't think you're working hard enough to make money. But
okay, cool.
But the funny thing is, Internet Money, have you ever heard of Internet Money?
Of course.
Yeah, they're like a producer collective, and Taz Taylor, he dropped out of grade school, and he was a type beat producer.
Right.
And like they put on Lemonade last year, that track went crazy, their album. Insane. and they pretty much proved to everybody like we are type beat producers, because that's all they were. They were doing like tutorials on like YouTube and stuff, and like now they're on the billboards, like
absolutely, and
like random people are like, yo, you hear that new Internet Money song? Like, you know what I mean? And that's like that's a type beat producer.
Yeah, I love the type beats though, because one, like, I mean, there's a lot of artists who are coming up who kind of imitate the sound of already established artists, right?
Oh, yeah.
People say you need to have your own sound, which I do agree with, but also like there's obviously influence in every sound. Yeah, correct. The type beat to me is like the producer equivalent of the rapper or the vocalist. Right?
Yeah.
There's inspiration in a type beat that you heard. Oh, I heard that Drake song. I want to make a beat in that style.
Yeah.
Who knows? Sometimes it might not even be his style, but it always has your touch to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and that to me is the interesting part, is how can you take a Drake beat, or how can you take a Migos beat and make it your beat?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How can I do that?
Yeah.
You know, like when I first started producing, one of the things, like I always try to remake beats I really liked, or like I would find type beats on there, but too many times, like you can go on Twitter or Instagram or YouTube, and there's producers that are clearly like trying to sound like a certain producer,
right?
Whether that means they're using the same 808 sound, like the bass, or they're doing similar patterns. But the best thing I think I could tell is like find something that you like about a producer and like incorporate that into like your own style, because like an artist has heard a beat, so like if they hear it again from someone else, like from you, like they already have a better version of that coming from like industry producers that are like in the game. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like if I'm making Pierre Bourne type beats and I'm trying to send them to Cardi, like, but Pierre Bourne is sending him beats that sound similar, like you already know he's gonna go to his roots.
Yeah.
But
how do you feel about like when it comes to placements and stuff? Because you've gotten placements. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about placements and like, for example, a producer being like, oh, I'll just take the beat you sent him, for example, rearrange a little bit. Now it's his beat. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, do you ever have that worry that people are going to rip you off or bite your sound in a way?
Of course. I mean, a couple of years ago, 21 Savage put out a project where one of the beats kind of sounded like mine, but it was a loop I used online. There's always going to be stuff like that, like people biting other producers' styles, and like it's just like a given because like even like artists do that. Like Drake used to get accused of like stealing people's styles, but I mean,
what's your take on that though? When Drake was doing it, because he touched UK's like grime, he touched the rap, he touched singing, he touched everything.
I think that's genius because I mean, if Drake could be known as a rapper or be known as a universal icon in the music industry, making like trap type beats, pop type records, like I think he's a genius for doing that. And like maybe like if you're first starting out your career, choose a lane to like build a fan base, but like when you get to that level of greatness, like I think he can
do whatever you want.
Yeah, like he can stay in any lane he wants now because he's got respect from people.
Fair enough. Do you think it's a plus to kind of like, do you not a plus, but more so like an encouraging thing to kind of branch out so you don't, I guess, get left with the times, or so you can keep up with times, so you got to try new things?
Absolutely. I mean, music changes all the time, right? So like there's definitely people that pick a style and they stick with their roots because they're comfortable and they don't want to expand. But I mean, the more things you know, like I think the more you're worth.
Right.
So like, because you don't want to like be really good at making trap beats, but then Beyonce like emails you and says, yo, like I really like your sound, but like do you make anything like this? And then you don't know how to do that.
Right.
So like that's why I think it's good to branch out and be ready for anything like that. Yeah. If that makes sense.
It does. That's a good answer. Good answer. Just real quick before we move on, going back to the loops, like you said that you used a loop online that 21 Savage has a beat that sounds similar.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that in terms of using loops now? Because let's say there's a Cymatics is a brand, is a company.
Yeah.
Right? They have a bunch of loops that come out all the time. If you used a Cymatics loop in one of your beats, and then somebody else used a Cymatics loop, and like the next 200 people used it, now you have 200 people that use the same loop.
Yeah.
What's your take on using loops?
I love using loops because personally, like when I make my own samples, it takes me a lot longer. But like I got a little team of like producers that be sending me loops now, and some of them like I'll tell them like, these loops, like send me some stuff that you're only sending to me and like a couple other guys, and then send me some stuff that you're putting out to everybody, because obviously if you make a crazy beat and like somebody uses the same loop and they get a placement, like that's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like that's what it is, I guess, because I think actually you can get placements with one loop on 2 different songs. It's actually happened a couple times.
What do you mean?
Like a couple of years ago, these guys called Q Beats. They make samples.
Okay.
And they got a placement on a Jaden Smith song with a loop, and the same exact loop was put on a XXX Tentacion song, but a different producer put the drums on it. So like, it was the same. It was the same melody with like 2 different drum patterns. Okay. But I mean, I don't think it's bad, but like, it might be unlucky because like if the artist knows that another song is already out with this loop and it's got a little bit of traction, like I don't think they want to put that out because it might cause like a little controversy or something.
Fair enough, makes sense.
But,
now, based off that as well, at what point can you differentiate between sampling or just using the same loop? Because there's a lot of songs out today that I guess just reflip a sample that was used back in the 90s or early 2000s. Right?
I definitely, like, if I had to choose one of those, if that's kind of what you're asking, is like samples or loops, I'd probably choose loops because like samples, like you can still create like amazing records with a sample, but at the end of the day, like whoever made that original song, like it's up to them how much they want to take off the song.
Wow. Okay.
Like, you know, like Lucid Dreams by Juice WRLD, that was a sample.
Right.
And like, if I remember correctly, I don't think they contacted the original songwriter.
Right. I remember there was some controversy about that.
Yeah. So like, since like he wasn't contacted like beforehand, like it went down like way worse than it had to, because he's like, all right, like you pretty much stole from me.
Exactly.
So sampling is awesome, but like, I think maybe like wait until you're a little like up more and have some respect. Cause
what differentiates it though? Like, at what point can I say I made a beat? Like, I'm sure when they made that beat for Juice WRLD, which was also Nick Mirror from Internet Money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When he made that beat, I'm sure he wasn't in his head. He's not thinking, "Oh, I'm stealing this beat." He probably thought of it like, "I'm sampling this beat."
Yeah. You know like nobody's ever like thinking they're stealing it.
Exactly.
But like on the other end, like it's all about how that person feels about it. Because like when somebody sends you loops, it's a mutual agreement. Like they'll put like a little tag in the email, like if you get this placed, like I want half of the percentages and stuff like that. But like I said before, like sampling, like it's not a matter of like asking. Like they can like if you sample something and like they hear the song and they don't like it, they can say no. Like you're not allowed to put that out.
What's a bad look on them too?
It is a bad look on them because they could be making money from it. But then again, everybody has their reasons, you know. Like
I still remember Dr. Dre and Eminem. Like how big are they? How big were they in like the mid 2000s? They got rejected for a lot of samples. Yeah. So, okay, let's move on to the next topic, man. Because like speaking of placements, you have gotten a lot of placements, bro.
I've gotten a few, a couple unreleased, couple released, but I've been working for it.
Let's talk about one of the biggest ones you've gotten with Lil Skies. His project is called Unbothered, and the song's called Locked Up.
Yes.
Let's talk about that, man. How'd that happen?
Oh man, I've been making Lil Skies beats since 2017, I think.
Like type beats?
Yeah, it worked. Yeah, if you go on my YouTube and do oldest videos, I actually have a bunch of Lil Skies type beats that were garbage. So I'm great. Listen, like back then I was like, yeah, like I really wanted it, but I think timing is everything, and I know now that I wasn't ready. But that Locked Up placement, that all happened. My boy Rello, DJ Rello, he's Lil Skies' official DJ.
Okay. Oh, you're friends with him?
I'm friends with him now, yeah. Okay, but before, like, if you want to know how I really got that,
absolutely.
I was in Florida, and like I didn't really have a lot of like friends there because they were all back home, so I was bored, and I was just doing some networking on my phone, and I seen DJ Rello, and he was always with Skies, like working with him. I was like, all right, this guy might be like a good person I can connect with. So I would message him like, yo, can I send some beats for Skies? And like he would
just in Florida at the time?
No, he was in PA, Pennsylvania.
Gotcha.
And I would DM him, but he would leave it on red because I would just be asking to send beats. But then I just replied to one of his stories about a laptop, and he accepted my message request. So after that, I was like, bro, just like let me send you some beats. Trust me.
Yeah.
So I sent him a pack, and he really liked it. And then we started FaceTiming and like cooking up together.
Wow.
He really believed in me, and like he started working with more producers, and he sent some beats to Skies for me, and he recorded on it. I remember going on Instagram Live, and he was recording, and I could kind of hear my beat like through the headphones. And I was like, yo, like I think that's my beat. I was telling my friends, I'm like, yo, go on this live right now. And so that's how that happened. It was back in May, and it came out
2020.
2020, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So I was excited. I was waiting for a long time for this, and it came out in January 22nd. Wow. So yeah, that's how it happened, man. And actually, I got another song with Skies.
Really?
Coming out, I think April. It should be.
That's awesome, bro. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
That's huge.
I'm excited, bro.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's dreams to reality, pretty much.
Oh, 100%. I feel like because you kept your mind focused on it. You started with Skies beats, you said.
Yeah, Skies.
So it's like comes full circle, bro.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome, man. You sent me a bunch of other posts from artists that you've worked with, right? One in particular, Hood Rich Pablo One. That's his Instagram at. I'm not familiar with this artist myself personally, but he's got 1 million followers, so he's popping.
Yeah, Hood Rich, he's been around for a while. The funny thing is, I didn't even try to get a song with Hood Rich.
Okay.
The guy that was on that song with him is Smokey Margella.
Okay.
He's an ASAP mob. He's part of that group.
Okay.
So like I was sending beats to his email, like his manager, and then he said he recorded on one. Actually, there's kind of a funny story behind that if you want to hear it.
Absolutely, go for it, bro.
So it was like it was 2018, I was like just making beats, and I went to the ASAP Mob show, and I got like a phone number on Instagram for his manager's page, and I kept texting it, and I was like, yo, like I got beats, I'm at the show, and he was like, bet, and like a year and a half goes by, I didn't speak to them at all, and I was chilling with my girlfriend, and like I got a text from a random number, and it's like, yo, like this is Smokey's like GM, like we need beats, like who is this again? And like I was just a random that I was texting him a long time ago, but he didn't save my number, so I think he thought I was like somebody relevant. So I was like, yo, like I just played it off cool. I was like, it's Steez, like what's the email? Like I'll send a pack right now. So I sent a pack, and like that same night I got the snippet for the song, and he put Hood Rich Pablo Juan on it, and that was my first placement that came out.
That's sick.
That holds a special part.
Did that kind of make you think at that point, you're like, okay, this is definitely my calling. Like this is my lane for this.
Yeah. The thing is, I almost got a little too excited because once I got my first placement, I thought like shit was just gonna be rolling in after that. Like I thought A&R is gonna come to me and try to like get me to send beats. I thought it was all gonna happen for me, but then 2019, I didn't really get anything else bigger. Okay. So I think it was like a wake up call. And it like showed me that like one placement like is no reason to think like something might be handed to you now. Absolutely. You gotta like put the pedal to the metal, like when something happens, you know?
I forget who it was. Somebody like famous had once said it too. Like once you like working your ass off to make it is the easiest part. But once you've made it, or once you've got your foot in the door, then you have to work twice as hard, 10 times as hard to keep it.
Yeah, because you got to deliver for people, you know?
Right.
Because like they see you like making progress and going up, and like once like something drops, like me personally, the Skies album just came out, so it's like, all right, I need something else to happen this year now, because like it's January and I just had this big record come out. So like I think it's just important to, you know, like have a mindset like nothing's like good enough, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Makes sense.
It depends though. It's just me. Like I like to work hard and like not get comfortable.
Not be satisfied, because then you get lazy.
Yeah, I think being satisfied is being comfortable, and like if you're comfortable, I don't think there's any room for you to grow.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Sense. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Another artist is Flipp Dinero. Again, he's another big artist, bro.
I love Flipp Dinero.
How'd that happen?
My boy, Stardust Season. He's a producer, and I made some loops myself last year. I sent him a couple packs, and he told me, he was like, bro, like, this is fire. I'm going to get Flipp on this. And I was like, hey, say less. I was like, do what you got to do. And he did. He got the snippet. And I love that song. I don't know if it's going to come out. I mean, Flipp Dinero, he makes a lot of music. If you follow him on Instagram, he's always posting new snippets. But, you know, that's crazy. Like, he's another artist I looked up to, like, when I first started making beats. Because, like, you hear music, you know, and you want to, like, make stuff like that. But I really hope that record comes out one day. That would be special.
Yeah. Now, these are all, like, I guess, more on the trap rap side of artists, right? Mm-hmm. And then you also had a placement with Jeremih.
Jeremih, yeah.
That's dope.
That's crazy.
Because now Jeremih is, like, in my opinion, I mean, I'm not familiar with the other artists. Lil Skies I know of a little bit, but I know Jeremih, and I know Jeremih, in my opinion, I think is more famous than all these guys. Yeah.
I mean, to an extent, like, for biggest songs, I think Jeremih is definitely most popular out of all of the artists I've worked with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the first people I actually worked with. I went to LA to meet up with BMW Kenny. He actually like told me to come out, and I was like 19, and I didn't even know like he knew Jeremih. We were just like cooking up beats, and I sent him some stuff.
Yeah.
And like it was my first day I got there, and the time zone had me all loopy. I was all tired, so I just sent like BMW Kenny, like that's one of my homies. I sent him some beats, and the next morning I woke up and like he was playing one of my beats, but Jeremih was on it, and I was like,
"Oh shit!"
I was like, "What the hell's going on?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "We're going to his house tonight. Like we're gonna." You know, so we ended up going. It was sick, man. Like I went to his house, got to meet him, like see the studio and shit. The song, it hasn't come out, but it was still like a really great learning experience. And like even though I can look at like a little video I got of him like on my beat. It's inspiring like for myself.
100%. When you like, I guess when you hit that low and you're just kind of like second guessing stuff, you just kind of pick those videos back up and.
Well, even just like, I remember like going to like dances back in the day, like then like the "Put It Down on Me" song.
Yeah, exactly.
And like "Birthday Sex," like dude, all these songs. Like, bro, I was like 10 years old, like listening at the dances, and now like I'm at this dude's house, like working with him. 100%. It's crazy.
And you just mentioned BMW Kenny too. That's another artist that you have placements with.
Yeah. So. You ever heard that like the viral TikTok song "Wipe It Down"?
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah, so
oh shit.
Yeah, that's my boy, dude. He was actually like he went as like another name because he was just a producer. Like he's a legend. He produced for like I don't know. Like, he produced for Justin Bieber, Travis, like Nicki Minaj, right? Like everybody. Wow. But he like been through the game, so he wanted to start making his own music, and he went viral.
Yeah.
So like, and I produced a song on like his debut EP. It's called "The Win."
Okay.
But yeah, like I'm really like happy for that because like that's my homie, and like he went out and like became an artist, did what he loves, and like he's like prospering doing it. So,
that's
like,
dope,
it's sweet.
Bro. Yeah, it's always nice to see people who you have friendships with or who you've connected with, see them win.
100%, most definitely.
Real quick before we wrap up, we gotta wrap up soon. How does leasing beats work?
Okay.
Because like I'm not saying this to start any shit.
No,
it's just a curiosity thing for me. The beat that was used for Locked Up.
Yeah.
Right. There's a local artist here, Jay Bish.
Yes. Yeah.
He had a song on I don't know if it's the same beat or similar beat.
It was the exact same beat.
Okay, because I heard the beats. They're the same, right? Because I didn't know. I personally didn't inspect it to the point to see if there was any difference, but. What I was assuming is he might have leased the beat from you, rather than purchased it. So can you just explain the difference?
Exactly. Quick? So in I think it was 2019. I made that beat a couple years ago, which is crazy. I was working with Josh, and I sent him a couple of beats. Excuse me. And he loved that one. He recorded on it, and the song's great. I love it.
Right.
But like, it was a lease, and like he is my homie, and like he used it. But if there's a beat sitting there that like I feel like has potential and I want to send out, I always will. Because like I've sold exclusives, but the money like exclusives are cool because like you make a little bit more money. But like when you sell an exclusive, like if I would have sold him exclusive rights to that beat, I would have never got the Skies placement because I would have never sent it to Skies.
Right.
So like that alone is like was a little message just to be careful. But and like I hope Josh like didn't get mad about that or anything because like he used the beat, but like Skies like a dream like placement for me. So like when that happened, like I felt bad for a second, but I'm sure he understands. Like I load him up, so it's all good.
So now let's say you give me a beat, and I lease the beat from you. I'm a nobody, right? Like, like me, I'm talking about me personally. I'm a nobody. If you get another chance for like a Lil Skies placement now, is it a possibility to sell that exclusivity to him and just be like, "Yo, Sik, take that song down"? So now I don't have that song out no more. So technically, it's exclusive.
Okay, so if you lease a beat from me, put a song out, and then I place the beat that you lease from me with an artist, and I would tell you to take it down.
You tell me to take it down. So now you can use it as an exclusive per se. Because like, I got no views.
I would never tell an artist to take it down because like if you buy a beat from me, like or lease a beat from me, you're supporting my career. So like I don't care like if it goes to Drake, like as long as the label isn't gonna tell you to take it down, like I will not. Gotcha. And if that ever did happen, where like you leased a beat from me and it had to get taken down, I would compensate you. I would send you a pack of personal beats, or I would have you come in and I would make you some shit and like make up for what happened. Right. But that's definitely happened before, I think. Just because like
I've heard of stories of it happening too, where like some producers tell the artist to take it down because either they can't pay for it or they're like, "Yo, I got this place somewhere else."
Well, a lot of the things artists be doing is they go on YouTube and they do like YouTube to MP3. And they'll download the beat and put it online. And it sucks because like if somebody like went on my YouTube and did that and like put it on all platforms, like I'm sure I could go and get it taken down, but I'm probably not going to do that unless it pops off because like because if you didn't lease it and you're getting millions of plays, like I'm going to come and be like, all right, like
where's my money?
I want like 80% of that because like you didn't confront me, like you didn't lease it, but like I would just have to let my lawyer like figure it out. 100%. But if you're an artist, like I definitely, even if you're going to buy an MP3 lease for $30, like you should definitely be paying your producers.
Oh, for sure.
Because like there's nothing good that's going to come from stealing a beat, or even if it doesn't feel like you're stealing it, like
nah, they know they're stealing it, bro.
But like we worked hard on that, you know.
100%. All right, man, Steez, that was a great interview, bro. It's good to be back. Thank you for coming through, man. Real quick, where can they find you on all your social medias and stuff, man?
Instagram, Steezewav, Twitter, everything. I got a Facebook page too. I got a YouTube. Subscribe. I'm actually gonna do a giveaway soon when I hit 1,000 subs on YouTube. I'm gonna give away a custom Akai MPK keyboard. Hey, so
that's sick.
Yeah, new music dropping soon. Yeah, I'm glad we got to do this, bro.
Me too, bro. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
That was fun, bro. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Sik Saleem. You can follow me on Instagram at Sik Saleem. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Stay up to date. We're getting back to these interviews now that lockdown is over. I'm trying to knock as many out in case we go back into another one. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.